You already know what needs to shift, don't you? But why do you keep avoiding that? That is the part nobody talks about. Most people frame this as a problem of not knowing what to do, not knowing which direction to go, not knowing what the shift even looks like. But that is almost never the real issue. The real issue is that you know. You have known for a while, and you keep not doing it. Maybe by fear, by anxiety, by the adult life. I know that this happens. Not because you are lazy, not because you do not care enough, not because you lack the information or the intelligence or the capacity. You have all of those things. You have been told you have all of those things, and at some level you believe it. And still, the shift does not happen. I want to talk about why. Not in the abstract way that makes it sound like a character flaw you need to fix. In the specific way that makes it recognizable. The kind of recognizable where you stop reading and think, yeah, that is exactly what is happening. Because once you can see it clearly, it stops having the same grip. Stay until the end, because what I am going to show you may change everything about you know. I avoided my own shift for longer than I want to admit. I reached my early 20s not knowing who I was, what I wanted to do with my life, or what profession I should pursue. So I know this feeling. And this happened not consciously. I wasn't sitting there thinking, I am going to avoid this today. I was busy. I had reasons. Good ones, actually. There was always something that needed to happen first. Some condition that was not yet met. Some version of not quite ready that felt completely legitimate in the moment. And underneath all of those legitimate reasons was something I did not want to look at directly. The shift felt too big to be reversible, and reversibility, the ability to go back if it does not work, is the safety net that the current state provides. The familiar discomfort of where you are has one thing going for it, that the unknown of where you could be does not. You already know you can survive it. You have been surviving it. The evidence is right there. The unknown does not come with that guarantee. It comes with possibility, yes, but possibility and guarantee are not the same thing, and the nervous system and your brain, which has been doing its job of keeping you safe for decades, knows the difference. Avoidance is not a weakness. It is the nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, protecting you from what it cannot yet verify as safe. The shift looks like a threat, not because it is one, but because it has not yet been experienced. And the nervous system does not work on probability. It works on precedent. What you have done before, you can do again. That is precedent. What you have not yet done has no precedent. And no precedent feels, to the part of you that manages survival, like risk, so you put it off. And the putting off feels reasonable. And a week passes, and then a month, and the shift you knew you needed to make starts to accrue a kind of weight around it that makes approaching it feel heavier each time, not because the shift itself got harder, but because the avoidance built up around it. Now let's talk about the thing that happens when you avoid your natural quantum shift, the loop. Here is where it gets worse before it gets better. The longer you avoid the shift, the more the avoidance starts to feel like evidence. Evidence that you are not serious enough, not committed enough, not the kind of person who actually follows through on the things that matter. And once the avoidance becomes evidence of something wrong with you, something else happens. Approaching the shift starts to feel like a confrontation, not just with the unknown of the shift itself, with the accumulated record of all the times you did not do it when you could have. And nobody wants to walk into a confrontation voluntarily. So you avoid the shift to avoid the confrontation, and avoiding the confrontation creates more evidence. And more evidence makes the next approach feel heavier. And that loop can run for years. I know because I let it run for years on specific things in my own life. Not because I did not want the shift, because wanting it and walking toward it while carrying all that accumulated weight are two entirely different things. And every time I got close to the thing I wanted to shift, the weight of not having done it sooner became part of what I was walking into. The shift was not the problem. The story around the shift was the problem. And I stayed at the loop for a long time. And I'm making this video because I want you to break free from this and not stay trapped like I was. The project is not judging you. The shift is not keeping score. The field does not have a file on all the times you almost moved and then did not. It is right there, waiting. The same as it always was. The only thing that changed is the story you have to build around that waiting. The quantum shift is not like other changes you have made in your life. Other changes happen on the surface. You change a habit, a routine, a job, a location. The circumstances shift, but the observer stays the same. You bring yourself, the same instrument with the same calibration, into new circumstances. And after the novelty fades, the same patterns tend to reassert because the instrument that was generating them did not change. The quantum shift is different because it is the observer that shifts, not what you are looking at, the one doing the looking. And that is a more fundamental change than any change in circumstances can produce, which is also why it is more threatening to your nervous system. Changing circumstances keeps you intact. Changing the observer changes what you are, not in a dramatic or destructive way, but in a way that means the version of you that exists after the shift is genuinely different from the version that exists before it. And the version that exists before it is the one that has been surviving, the one that has precedent, the one the nervous system knows how to protect. So the nervous system does not just resist the shift because the outcome is uncertain. It resists the shift because the shift involves a genuine change in the one doing the experiencing. And that feels, from the inside, like a kind of ending, like a spiritual death. And it is not an ending. It is a graduation. But the nervous system cannot tell those apart from the inside of the one that has not made it yet. This is why the quantum shift specifically tends to get avoided longer and harder than other changes. Not because you are more resistant to it, because it is asking for something deeper than surface change. And deep change requires a quality of trust that the nervous system will only develop through direct experience of surviving it. So now tell me below in the comments, what is the shift you have been circling without making? Not the version you have been telling people about, the actual one underneath that. You need to write that because naming it here, in this context, with this understanding of why you have been avoiding it, changes the relationship with it. Now let's see what happens if you avoid this shift. When you finally stop avoiding and take one genuine step toward the shift, something specific happens that most descriptions of transformation leave out. Nothing dramatic occurs. not immediately. The shift does not announce itself with a clear signal that you made the right choice. The field does not immediately reorganize into confirmation. What happens is quieter and in some ways more significant than any dramatic sign would be. The weight lifts, not all of it. Not the weight of whatever the shift requires, but the weight of the avoidance, the accumulated story of all the times you did not do it, the confrontation that the approach had been building into. That weight, which had been making the shift feel heavier than it actually is, disappears the moment you take the step, because the weight was never in the shift. The weight was in the avoidance, and avoidance ends the moment you move. I remember the first time I experienced this clearly. I had been circling something for long enough that approaching it felt enormous. The actual thing I needed to do was small. It took about only 20 minutes. But I had built so much story around not having done it that it had grown in my mind into something that required a specific kind of readiness I kept not quite having. So I stayed stuck. When I finally did it, the disproportion was almost embarrassing. The thing itself was nothing. The story around it had been everything. That is what avoidance does. It does not protect you from the difficulty of the shift. It constructs a difficulty around the shift that is made entirely of story and that dissolves the moment you stop feeding it with continued avoidance. The shift is almost always smaller than the avoidance made it feel. Now let's see the highlighted comment of this video. Someone wrote in the comments recently something that stopped me for a moment. My clarity serves collective. And now, you are definitely my mentor. Will we ever get to see you? The first sentence is the one I keep coming back to. My clarity serves collective. That is not a statement about personal achievement. It is a statement about what clarity does when it arrives. It does not stay contained to the person who developed it. It radiates. It changes the quality of field around the person. It becomes useful to people who are still in the fog that the clarity moved through. And here is what that means for avoiding your own shift. When you avoid the shift, you are not only keeping yourself from what is available on the other side of it, you are keeping everyone in your field from what your shifted version would contribute. The clarity you would carry after the shift, the quality of presence, the different way of seeing things that comes from having moved through rather than around. The avoidance feels like a personal choice. It is not. It has a radius. And to the question about whether you will get to see me, the answer is yes. If you feel that I am your mentor with all your heart, so I am. I have been appearing in recent videos and will continue to. The channel started as a voice. It is becoming a presence. That shift, showing up more directly, is one I have been making gradually because some shifts require the same thing this video is describing. One step at a time, rather than waiting for perfect readiness that never arrives. The clarity is still developing, but developing clarity serves, even before it is complete. Thank you so much for your comment on this channel. You must be wondering what to do with all this information then, so I will tell you. You do not need to complete the shift today. You do not need to be ready for everything it involves. You do not need to resolve the uncertainty about where it leads. You do not need to have a plan for what comes after. You just need to take one step that is actually toward it. Not a step toward being ready to take a step. Not more research, more reflection, or more waiting for the right moment. One step that is actually the thing. Small is already fine. Small is better than large, if large means waiting for the version of yourself that is ready for large. Because that version arrives after you have started moving, not before. Readiness is a consequence of movement, not a prerequisite for it. The nervous system develops trust in the shift through evidence, and the only evidence it will accept is the direct experience. One step provides that. One genuine movement toward the shift gives the nervous system one data point of survival. Still here, nothing catastrophic happened. And that data point changes the calculation for the next step. You do not need to transform tonight. You need to make the avoidance stop being the shape of your relationship with the shift. You just need to let this happen naturally. I want you to think about the shift you have been circling, the one you named in the comments or just thought, and I want you to identify one thing, specific, small, actual, that would be a genuine step toward it. Not preparation for the step itself. And I want you to do it today. Not because today is special, because today is the day you are in, and the shift does not care which day you start. It only cares that you do. Write in the comments one thing you are doing today, because the people who write it are significantly more likely to actually do it, and the doing is the only thing that matters. The shift you have been avoiding is not waiting to judge you for how long it took. It does not carry the weight of the avoidance the way you do. It is just there, the same as it always was, still available, still the direction the field has been showing you, still possible to move toward today in a way that is smaller and less confrontational than the story around it has been suggesting. You are not behind. You have not used up your window. The fact that you are here, engaging with this specific content at this specific moment, is itself evidence that the shift is still live, still in the field, still waiting for the movement that turns potential into actual. If you feel like you are in the middle of a transition right now, if the shift you have been avoiding is already in motion, even if partially, the Quantum Transition Field Guide was just made for you, and it is in the description. All the pages built for someone who is actively navigating this. The phases of what a genuine quantum transition produces in the body and in experience, 5 practical protocols, and 1-month navigation guide. The audiobook is also available if you prefer to listen. Take yours now and let your quantum shift and quantum transition happen. Subscribe to this channel if the content has been landing, and leave a like if this video helped you some way. The shift is closer than the avoidance made it feel. That is the whole thing. That is all I wanted to say. Thank you for staying in this transmission with me. Tell me your name and where you are from in the comments. I will send good energy for you. Click on this video appearing on your screen right now. See you there in your next quantum reflex.